My name is Shivani. I am blind, if you didn't already know that. I do that every time just because, yeah, you might want to see. Today I thought, as it is January and everybody has this thing about January is a miserable month because it's the month after Christmas and the credit card bills have kind of arrived. So I thought I would do a positive video because for me January is not a sad month. For me January is a great month because it's my birthday. So my birthday is at the end of the month and I am excited. We are doing some fun things. But I thought on the positive feeling that I have, I thought I would share it with everybody else. And today my video is about 5 reasons that I like being blind. 5 positive things that I find with having a disability. So I thought we would maybe talk about what other people think about as well with their positivity. So if you have any suggestions, or even if it's not about being blind, but if you have a disability and that you know that there is a positive, please let me know in the comment section below. So number 1 on my list is that I know nothing, and I mean nothing, about cars. I couldn't think of where to start when it comes to insurance and MOT and who's the best and no. And I'm so glad that with my eyesight, although bearing in mind at the time I was registered blind, I cried when the doctor said I wasn't allowed to drive, I now find that is probably the best thing about being blind. I don't have to worry about having a car and maintaining a car. Sort of. My husband does, but I don't, and I don't think I ever really want to. I don't really have that drive anymore. I don't really have that want to drive a car anymore. I mean, my dad has tried to putting me in the car, in the driver's seat, in an automatic and saying, just go forward, just drive the car forward. No. And my husband has done the same, and the absolute same. I will not do it just because the idea, I don't have that passion of having a vehicle and being able to drive it. I don't mind being driven around, but I don't need to drive a car. So I'm not missing that. I'm really not missing the fact that I need to drive. I have public transport. I have taxis that are supposed to be for assisted travel. So for example, they already know, and they know that I'll have a guide dog with me. So not having the stress, and that is probably up there, having a lot of things that I don't have to do that normal people will, but people with a disability or myself being registered blind, I will not do, driving being one of them. Number 2 on my list of positivity is that being registered blind does open up certain doors. One of those doors is actually having a guide dog who is ignoring me right now because food is far more important. But having Sienna in my life has been a big change, specifically from having a very limited social life to increasing that a lot more and being able to go out in the evenings and seeing my friends, to actually moving from Southampton all the way to London, which is a very different lifestyle, and being able to feel confident being here. She is a huge positivity to my life. Not only is she able to guide me and keep me safe, but also she's another being in my life that I would never ever change. Her personality is just perfect. She might ignore me sometimes, but she's still perfect. If it hadn't been for my guide dog, I never would have met my husband. So having her in my life for both physical need of just needing a cuddle, you know, you have a bad day, having her is amazing. I would never have had a guide dog if I wasn't blind. Having a dog that does the job that I cannot do, so missing out on never walking into bollards, never walking into buggies, and never walking into A-boards. You shopkeepers move your A-boards every day, and because of Sienna, I never notice them anymore. Reason number 3 I like being blind is probably technology. I'm not the best at it, and I know that other blind people are brilliant when it comes to technology, but I have to admit that I have loved growing up with assistive technology. All the little things that you could find. I mean, I have my phone, which has a voiceover. Love it, can't live without it. In fact, I start using it at work, and I have an iPad where I can do some of my work on it when I'm at work, which is great. I have a computer that I can magnify on. I have a machine that can magnify paperwork so I can read my post if I need to. I have a watch that tells me the time. Yay! That took a long time to find. Normally watches for the blind are normally ugly, but thank you for Apple Watch, who created something that's a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. So I love my assistive technology. I love certain things I have in the house. For example, I have a little bleepy machine that sits on the edge of my mug or any glass, so I know that my whatever I've poured into the glass or the mug will never overfill and spill everywhere. I also like that I have talking scales in the bathroom. I say I like that, but it is a little bit addictive getting on the scales every day and then getting disappointed when the scales start shouting at you your actual weight, especially after Christmas. But I do like the scales. In fact, when I took the scales away when I moved out, my parents went and bought another set of scales, and in fact it talks. Once you get used to it, once you get used to the blind way, you always carry on with the blind technology. The fourth thing I like about being registered blind is that I find that you end up meeting a lot more people, and you end up meeting, yes, you do meet the 50-50 side. You will meet some really weird and annoying and strange people, but you will also meet far more nice people. Before I came to London and I would do day trips, people would say to me, and these are normal people that would just go to London because they can, would say, oh, I hate London, I hate how busy it is, people are obnoxious, people are this, people are that. But my experience was completely different. I have had no issues with travelling around London because Transport for London actually have passenger assistance, and they are amazing at what they do. The way that they function in order to get me from A to B to C is amazing, and they are always nice people. I have always found as well that there are people on the underground who are willing to assist me and will ask me, would you like help? And I find that my world of London is slightly different to others. It doesn't mean that I don't come across morons. It doesn't mean that I don't come across people who like to hate and like to say stupid things. But in majority, I find that London is a lot more of a positive place with somebody with a disability. People are more willing to help. And I love that. I love that part that I see London, or I see lots of places around the country or lots of places abroad in a very different light to others. My husband can regale you with a story of our honeymoon and when we had passenger assistance and the fun that comes from people trying to help us. That's for another video. That is completely, that's his story, not mine. But you find that you will always come across good people, and the thing is, if you are a positive person, you'll probably attract positive people who want to say nicer things to you or help you. So I think maybe that's what it is. Maybe that I'm willing to accept help, or even if someone offers, I will always say, I'm okay, but thank you, because it should be appreciated that that person has taken the thought to ask. And I find that sometimes we can be quite dismissive of that, but that moment that person has thought to offer is a really great thing to think about. The fifth positive reason that I like being blind, so back to the first but kind of in a different way, is that in the UK with your disability you do qualify for a disabled badge. Now I think that it is a smart idea that those of you who are registered blind or visually impaired should apply for your disabled badge. The reason I say that is whoever you are travelling with, whoever you are deciding to go with and needing to park, being in a disabled bay is beneficial. And the reason I say that is because that person who you're with, whether they are qualified in guiding or not, it makes their life, not just yours, but their life easier to get you from the car to the venue safely, not having to navigate you through numerous other cars. Unfortunately, one person's set of eyes does not automatically equate to the two of you. So in fact, to make both people's lives easier, being in a disabled bay is better. So I like the fact that with the UK, you qualify for a disabled badge if you are registered blind. Now, the other part to this is not only do I get a disabled badge and it makes it easier specifically to get out of the car with the guide dog and make my husband's life or whoever I'm with easier, and I say whoever I'm with because everybody wants me in their car. At home, when I lived with my parents, Mum would ask me, are you going to come with me shopping? And I'm thinking, I don't really want to go food shopping. She only wants me in the car for the disabled badge. But then I get time out with my mum, or I would go out with my friends and it's like, don't worry, you don't have to pay for parking because I've got the disabled badge. Great, you know. And it's nicer because then you find your friends are less likely to see you as a hindrance because you've kind of combated the hindrance part. If you accept that disabled badge, which I know some people really don't like that image of themselves, then maybe when you see the funny side, they will see the fun side and the funny side. So I am forever always wanted in someone else's car. And I don't mind because it means I get driven around in a car I don't have to pay for, in a car I don't have to insure, in a car I don't have to do MOT. So I get to go places. And in fact, with my husband, it just takes a lot of stress thinking about what we're going to do, where are we going to park, how are we going to do this. So I really like that as my fifth positive reason for being blind. That is all my positive reasons for today. I thought I would keep it just to a 5. If you liked this video, please don't forget to subscribe by pressing the red button below. You can also press the bell icon. If you wanted to see any of my previous videos, I believe you should be able to see some of these videos around my face. It's around about now. Still working that one out. If you have any comments and you also agree about having a disability and what you think is positive, please let me know below. Or any other ideas that you may have, please let me know. Lots of love. Mwah.